In the eyes of some critics, car auctions have been seen as a faceless way to dispose of old clunkers. But the classic car auction movement has moved the zeitgeist. And at WB's next sale on September the 17th, well, we've got a lineup that will rival most car shows.
Absolutely. And just take a look at some of the cars featuring in it. 2 Renault 5s, but we'll start with the more humble one, Jeff.
Yep, this is a late Super Sank, 1.1 Campus, lovely condition.
Fantastic.
Just 14,000 miles on the clock.
Unbelievable.
You're not going to find another one as nice as that, are you?
I love it, but far more people are going to be interested in this. 1984 Gordini Turbo. I mean, just
a proper hero one, isn't it? A proper Hero 5.
69,000 miles, very, very late Gordini Turbo, of course. It's got a Renault Classic Car Club sticker in the window there, which tells you it's definitely been looked after. It's got all 5 of those glorious deep turbine wheels with it. Pretty much mint.
Big civvies up the front.
I think this is magic, and James from WB has said it's every bit as good to drive as it looks.
And it does look good.
It looks fantastic.
It really does.
But if you like performance and practicality, but on a slightly larger scale, what about a couple of wagons here, Jeff?
Yeah.
Volvo 850R with a rather interesting past, in fact. This one is a Japanese import. It's been in the country for a little while now, but there is no rust underneath it because it's been treated to a full under sealing. The paint on the bonnet isn't absolutely perfect, but on the other hand, it's a family estate car, not a show car, and that means you can use it every day, and these are awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice one to sort of have almost a little bit of a rolling TLC with.
Yeah.
You can still use it, you can still enjoy it. It's quite stiff.
Yeah, it's a bit of a track ready one, this one, but that does mean that you can keep up with some proper modern machinery. I mean, yes, it's got 220 odd thousand miles on the clock. That means you haven't got to be precious about it. You can use it and abuse it, and that's what they're for. But if you like your estates a bit more sedate, what about this? Mark 1 Cortina estate. When did you last see one of these?
I'm a big fan of this. This is a very late one as well, being a 67. Look at it.
Gorgeous condition.
Paintwork is lovely. Got this lovely sort of flash down the side in contrasting colour as well.
Yeah, it's got the original wheel trims with it. Just simple, honest loveliness.
You do get the 1500 pre-cross flow as well, so nice and usable. Very nice car indeed.
And
really
genuinely practical. That boot is bigger than a lot of modern SUVs.
Let's move on, shall we? And how about something rather smaller?
Just tucked straight down the back. An original Fiat Nuova 500. That's a very late one, 1971, I believe, and it's lovely. It's got the vinyl rollback roof on it. It's left-hand drive because it's an import from Italy, and it's lovely. I adore it.
Yeah, that one's a 500L as well, so it's a little bit higher spec than the standard car. That nudge bar on the front as well.
So cute, I love it.
Yeah, lovely thing.
The estimate on that is very reasonable, and it's a totally usable but presentable car, I think.
Our friends at Lancaster Insurance are running monthly giveaways. You can win all sorts, from experience days to tools, restaurant vouchers and tech. So click the link below at the end of the video to enter their latest competition.
Now obviously all Japanese performance cars going up in value at the moment, but this is one of the icons you can still get into for half reasonable money. 2004 DC5 Honda Integra Type R, and one of the cleanest ones I've ever seen.
Yep, it's been in the country since it was just 7 months old, one owner, lovely vivid blue paint, and just 49,000 miles.
Absolutely incredible, and unlike a lot of these cars, they're highly modifiable, but this one hasn't been. We're talking about standard ride height, totally usable still, no cracks in the dash, all the switchgear's lovely. Use it, enjoy it, don't modify it, and watch the values rocket because they're going to, and I really want it.
Bit more modest perhaps, but still with a performance-orientated theme.
Well,
is this. MG ZRs, they are going up in value, and this one has only done 32,000 miles. Lovely green paintwork. Yes, it's the 105 with a 1.4K series, but look at the condition of it.
Remarkable. And you know what, I don't think these cars get enough love because you've got a good chassis to start with, then they firmed it up, sported it up. I think the spec on this one's lovely, and inside the interior tells a story in so much as that it is mint. There's no wear on the seats. They're a great modern classic as well. I know someone I went to school with had one of these as their first car. They're great, really like them. But if you like your modern classics more performance orientated, there's something really performance orientated.
Just a bit more performance orientated.
You're going to like this.
Now normally we wouldn't cover a car from 2015 in a classic car auction preview, but if there was ever a modern classic, it's this. Lotus Exige LF1, one of only 81 cars made, was to commemorate a particular Lotus F1 team victory.
This particular one celebrates Mario Andretti's win at Monza, and it is stunning. Just look at this thing. The black with the gold wheels is a classic Lotus paint scheme.
What a machine.
Absolutely phenomenal. And it's hard to believe when you hear these things because they sound biblical. That's a Toyota Camry engine back there. Just unbelievable. You've got a lift-off roof so you can use it all year round. Surprisingly comfortable given it's a Lotus. It's got heated seats and a radio in there. But it's just epic, isn't it? It's not many things are going to keep up with this on a B road.
No.
And it will be a future classic. They've just taken the Exige out of production, but it was a classic the minute it was born as far as I was concerned.
I mean, they're only going to rocket in value now, aren't they? And of course, from Lotus, legendary manufacturer, Lancia. What about this?
This is not any Lancia Beta. That on its own would be a rarity, let's be honest, because it's still here. But this is a Beta Volumex. And you know what that means, Jeff? Supercharged.
Yeah.
One of just 184 right-hand drive Volumex Betas ever made. This particular one has been uprated slightly because it's had its engine rebuilt by legendary Lancia race engine tuners Guy Croft. About the nicest one you're going to find, if you're going to find another one, let's be honest.
Well, they've had an offer for £20,000 on the drivetrain alone, which tells you how special this car is.
It's just lovely, isn't it? Nice 3-spoke Momo Prototipo steering wheel in there, all the little touches. No rust anywhere, which for a Beta, this should be a museum.
You're not going to see another like it, are you?
No, proper rarity, and it's arguably a bit of a connoisseur's choice. But if you fancy a connoisseur's choice amongst MX-5s,
yeah.
What about that? Mark 2.5, because it's the facelift, MX-5 RS.
Here is a Mark II MX-5, solid throughout, and that's remarkable in itself. But as you say, this is an RS version, so slightly higher rev limit, tweak suspension, really rare Mazda speed seats.
This one's got a hardtop on it, some lovely slightly bigger wheels, perfect bodywork that I can see. Mark II MX-5s are finally starting to climb in value, and if you want one to use and enjoy as it appreciates, I can't think of a much nicer one than this.
But my choice for a Japanese performance car would be this.
Now there is a bit of that got away nostalgia here, isn't there, Jeff? Because you used to own one of these, didn't you?
I used to own an ST185 Celica GT4. This is a car lost science. Basically the European version of the RC that they sold in Japan. You get a charge cooler. This one's done 22,000 miles. It's just as good as you're going to find one.
Commemorative plaque there, 17 more horsepower, and it's nice to see a Celica GT4 that's totally standard, not even had wheels changed or stickers put on it.
No.
Big fan, love it. But if you fancy a bit of a race-bred homologation of sorts, well,
yeah.
What about this?
Wow.
The TWR Jaguar XJRS, the V12.
Yeah, it's got the V12. This is the 5.3, it's one of around 100 made.
And this is a really nice example. The history file with this is incredible. Amongst the paperwork, the original owner has had photos from the Tom Walkinshaw factory of it being made. It's got a little extra. It's got the original silk cut Jaguar jacket with the original owner's name on it. And I wish that was for sale on its own. This is absolutely lovely. It's been off the road for a few years, so you will have to do a little bit of recommissioning, and there's a few little bits that you might want to smarten up.
And a 50,000 mile example as well, so you are going to struggle to find anything comparable to this now.
Big fan, but what about that for an 80s rarity, Jeff? E28 BMW M5. Yep. This is a US spec car. Now, US cars had catalytic converters and they had twin timing chains, not singles. This one's been converted to Euro spec bumpers, which are slimmer, a bit lower profile and frankly a bit more elegant. Now, it is left-hand drive, obviously, but you can probably cope with that because it's lovely. Black with a tan leather interior.
You can tell this is a US spec car because the headlights aren't staggered, they're both the same size.
Yeah, which in the Europe they were. Really, really nice. Few and far between because E39 M5s are getting thin on the ground. These were never common.
Well, no, they made fewer than 2,500 of these.
Proper 80s performance icon, that. But if you want an 80s performance icon, how about this? Ford Escort RS Turbo Series 1.
RS Turbos have been in the news recently because of Princess Diana's car going to auction and potentially making huge money. But here's a
comparatively affordable. This car has had a fully rebuilt engine just 7,000 miles ago, so it's had the speedo corrected to reflect that. And the paperwork with this car is phenomenal. It's inches thick and everything's been documented. Unlike a lot of these cars, a lovely standard look.
Yep.
Correct ride height, original wheels. Inside, apart from a modern head unit and a little boost gauge, totally standard. That seat's not all threadbare on the bolster like they always go.
Wonderful things.
Few fast Fords are quite so iconic on looks alone, but there is one from the 90s, the almighty Racing Puma.
Yeah, built by Tickford, wide arches, 155 horsepower, 1.7 engine, so 30 more than the standard 1.7 car.
Sparco racing seats in it.
They're so crisp to drive, the short gearing is lovely, and this looks like a fantastic example. It's done 70,000 miles, but it's been beautifully repaired. Lovely condition, there's not really a mark on it.
Because it's done 70,000 miles, whereas a lot of these have been preserved and garaged and have got 10,000 miles on them, this is still great condition, but you can use it and enjoy it. And when you do, you realise quite how wicked they are. The price is steep compared to a normal Puma, but for the experience and the status and how much they're going up in value, again, bit of a bargain, arguably.
Well, yeah, they didn't sell as many as they planned when new because they were ludicrously expensive. But now, that just makes them all the more exclusive.
Yeah, fantastic car. Now, do you fancy something a bit more humble?
I do.
Well, how about this little beauty over here then? When did you last see one of these? ADO 16 Traveller, this one being an Austin 1300. What a sweetie.
A late Mark III car as well, and I really like the estate version. I just think they're super cool.
Lovely sunroof with the little wind effector flap on there.
Yep.
Obviously the interior is arguably the highlight of the car. That little woodroom steering wheel, the seats are immaculate. It's superb.
I love the period mods on it as well. There's an aftermarket steering wheel, a Leyland gear knob.
The little slot mag wheels as well.
I like the slot mag wheels, but if you don't, it comes with a set of standard steels as well.
Just lovely, isn't it?
I think this is wonderful.
What about a Mini? Or several, in fact. Jeff, talk me through, come on.
You can't help but have your attention immediately drawn to this though, can you?
Yeah, this might not be to everyone's taste, but a Mini in bright Barbie pink, and we're told this is in fact the pink from the new Fiat 500. It's not for everyone.
No.
But I really like it. The white Mini-like wheels, the mirrors, the roof, the right colour interior with the tartan. I think this is nicely done.
Yeah, this is a Japanese import, so it's got aircon, actually a manual, which is quite rare for Japanese imports. Lovely Nardi wheel, and it is a very, very straight car with a very, very sensible estimate. So I think this is a bit of a bargain, potentially.
But what else have we got over here then?
A late Cooper Sport in the British Racing Green with the silver leather, silver roof, silver stripes. One of the final cars from 2000. It's not one of the final 500, but it's to exactly the same spec pretty much. And it's in lovely, lovely condition.
Fantastic condition, is it? 29,000 miles only, and it looks it. Brilliant. I think these last Sport Pack Minis are the ones to have. I think they're great.
No, it's a lovely example for sure.
But I know you like your Minis, but you like your Capris too, don't you?
I do like my Capris, yes.
What about that one?
Now this one's a little bit different. Started life as a humble 1.6 model, but it's now got a 2-litre Pinto in it, the desirable 205 block, and it's been repainted in Ford Deep Impact Blue.
Very similar colour to what we saw on the Racing Puma, and I think it looks lovely with the RS7 spokes as well. Pillar trims have been hydro dipped in carbon fibre finish. It's unusual, it's not necessarily period correct, and it's not for everyone's taste, but I rather like it.
Yeah,
looks
it
quite nice
works.
with the dark blue. Because this isn't an immaculate car, there's a few little blemishes here and there, you're not going to be scared to use it.
No.
Inside, it defies all expectations for a Capri interior, and that it's really tidy. It's got Recaros, it's totally usable, but it's presentable. It's a Capri you can have fun with, and I think you should buy it.
Well, to be honest, I'd be spoilt for choice at this auction because you've got so many homologation specials, hero cars, run-of-the-mill cars, super minis. I mean,
Bit
the
of
selection
luxury.
is absolutely incredible, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean,
there's everything, like you say, there's Fiat 500s to a Bentley Flying Spur and everything in between. So as always, check out the WB website for the full catalogue, and you can bid online, you can bid over the phone, and you can bid by proxy as well. When's the date?
17th of September, so happy bidding.
This video is proudly sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Give them a call on 01480 400 889 for an insurance quote on your classic car. And don't forget to click the link below to enter their latest competition.